Hello, welcome to a brand new edition of Culture Mosaic, giving you the best bits of the week. We now start things off by discovering Thanh Hóa province, a land rich in culture and history, as this year the province marks its 990th anniversary. Then a French-Vietnamese choreographer, Sébastien Lee, will tell us about his chance visit to his grandparents' home country, Vietnam, and his own creation, the annual Crossing Over Arts Festival, or KOAF. In our Connecting Cultures, let's visit Vietnam's largest wildlife sanctuaries at the Tam Dao National Park, where organizations are trying hard to end foul trade in the country. Here we go. Thanh Hóa from the past to present. Sébastien Lee answers the call of origin with KOAF. And organizations work hard to end foul trade in Vietnam. The 8th Huế Traditional Crafts Festival 2019, with the theme The Quintessence of Vietnamese Crafts, kicked off on April the 26th at the Huế High School for the Gifted. This year's festival is aimed at honoring traditional crafts and improving the production and business efficiency of craft villages. The festival includes many cultural activities along with a well-designed stage for music performances. Now, this is a chance for artisans and craftsmen from traditional handicraft villages to introduce their products and share their experiences. On Friday morning, thousands of locals and pilgrims from all over the country gathered at the Po Naga Cham Tower in Nha Trang City, Khánh Hòa Province, to join the Po Naga Cham Tower Festival, which was recognized as part of the National Intangible Cultural Heritage. This festival takes place from the 20th to the 23rd day of the lunar month, commemorating Yan Po Naga, the goddess of the country who taught local people how to grow rice, weave fabric, and raise livestock. The festival features beautiful Cham dances and various solemn traditional rituals of Cham ethnic people. The tourists also have the chance to experience local culture. Vietnamese movie Song Lang, or The Tap Box, won the Best Script Award at the 4th ASEAN International Film Festival held from April the 25th to the 27th in Malaysia. It also received 5 nominations. The film tells the story of the relationship between a cải lương, or reformed theater art artist, and a gangster with a love for the art, set in 1980s in Ho Chi Minh City. Now, the festival aims to promote culture, tradition, and heritage towards convergence and cooperation in the ASEAN film industry, popularizing ASEAN films in international markets. This year's event draws the participation of countries with 29 films. More than 200 artworks about the Trường Sơn Trail were introduced at the Memory of Trường Sơn exhibition, which opened on Friday in Hanoi. This important event commemorates 60 years of the opening of the legendary Trường Sơn Ho Chi Minh Trail during the war against the Americans. The event was organized by the Vincom Center for Contemporary Art in collaboration with the Vietnamese Association of the Trường Sơn Ho Chi Minh Trail. The exhibition will be open until May the 26th. Now, 2019 marks the 990th anniversary of Thanh Hóa, an ancient land long rich in culture. May also marks this year's celebration of the event. This week's Culture and Lifestyle will show you the village where the name Thanh Hóa originated and learn more about the land and people of Thanh Hóa from the distant past to the present.
With an area of 11,120 kilometers and population of over 4 million people, Thanh Hóa is the 5th largest province in Vietnam and the 3rd largest in terms of population. Thanh Hóa is a province with an important economic and military position of the north-central region and the whole country. The land also has a long tradition of culture and history while still being full of potential. In recent years, Thanh Hóa has emerged as a bright spot in social-economic development and culture. Promoting these characteristics with the support and direction of the government, over the past years, Thanh Hóa province has built on its potential, effectively using resources for comprehensive and sustainable economic development. However, the historical and cultural values here are still preserved and handed down generation to generation, following the tradition of drinking water and remembering the source as a tribute to the ancestors who sacrificed themselves building the country. The name Thanh Hóa appeared in the Lý dynasty in 1029 and remains the same till this day. Duy Tinh ancient village in Văn Lộc commune, Hậu Lộc district was the political, cultural and economic center of administrative units through the Lý Trần dynasties. Duy Tinh village is also the place of origin for the name Thanh Hóa. I'm in Duy Tinh village, one of the oldest villages in Thanh Hóa province. This is also where many of Vietnam's national treasures and artifacts lies. Let's join me and discover the beauty of Duy Tinh village. Nguyễn Văn Mậu is the son of Duy Tinh village. He is one of the knowledgeable people researching village history. He is also passionate about contributing to preserving and promoting the values of the village to younger generations, as well as friends Ngan Pha. He is currently keeping precious documents about the village.
Làng Duy Tinh đến nay như vậy là hơn 1000 năm tuổi. Có từ trước thời nhà Đinh. Khi Lý Công Uẩn rời đô từ Hoa Lư ra Thăng Long, thì ông cũng cho rời lỵ sở của quận Cửu Chân hoặc là Châu Ái từ tư phố làng Giàng về làng Duy Tinh. Như vậy là làng Duy Tinh là lỵ sở, tức là một trung tâm hành chính của tỉnh qua hai thời Lý và Trần, từ năm 1010 cho đến năm 1400. Và lúc đó năm 1029 khi danh xưng Thanh Hóa phát tích thì lỵ sở Thanh Hóa đã ở làng Duy Tinh. Cho nên chính làng cổ Duy Tinh là nơi phát tích cái danh xưng Thanh Hóa.
The vestige of the Lý dynasty remains only in 3 stone lotus pedestals of the Sùng Nghiêm Diên Thánh Pagoda, located in Duy Tinh village, and an invaluable stele built in 1118 that recorded the construction of Sùng Nghiêm Diên Thánh Pagoda. This stele is currently preserved in the Duy Tinh village pagoda.
Có thể nói đây là một báu vật của dân làng. Trước đây Viện Bảo tàng Lịch sử cũng có yêu cầu đưa cái bia này về, nhưng làng Duy Tinh kiên quyết giữ lại. Thế thì trải qua 5 tháng, gần 1000 năm, cái bia nó bị phong hóa và bị bọn Pháp và bọn Mỹ nó bắn đại bác từ biển vào, cho nên bia đã bị sứt vỡ. Thế thì giáo sư Nguyễn Huệ Chi cùng với ban văn học Lý Trần đã về đây khảo sát và giúp đỡ nhà chùa phục chế lại tấm bia năm 2014.
The ancient artifacts kept in the village pagoda, such as stone stele, 3 stone lotus pedestals, and the pagoda stone stairs, were all made of monolithic stone, carved with delicate patterns. They are treasures of the Lý dynasty Buddhist culture and Vietnam's cultural heritage. Over the past 8.5 centuries, the old architecture of the pagoda has changed through many renovations.
Cụ Lý Thường Kiệt là về đất Thanh Hóa là nhậm chức 19 năm. Thì cụ có xây dựng được 4 ngôi chùa. Chùa xây dựng thì trước đó thì cụ vua Lý Nhân Tông thì về tuần du về đất Thanh Hóa, và cụ vĩ nhìn về đây thì là thấy cái ngôi chùa này đã đổ, mà gạch thì đã đổ, mà diêu thì đã mọc. Xong rồi cụ vĩ là giao cho là cụ Lý Thường Kiệt là ở lại để mà xây dựng cái ngôi chùa này. Khánh thành năm 1118. Chùa này thời cụ Lý Thường Kiệt là cụ là người có công là ở như vừa là đất Thanh Hóa ta, mà cũng có công là cái người là trùng tu lại cái ngôi chùa này, cho nên là thờ cụ ở như chùa ngoài.
As an ancient village over 1,000 years old, an administrative location of Thanh Hóa in the Lichun dynasty and the place where the name Thanh Hóa was born, the descendants of Tengu Village strive to preserve the tradition of their village, which are to try hard and study well. Although existing for more than 1,000 years, Tengu ancient village is still visible in everyday life as a long-standing essence of tradition.
Tại sao đã đặt tên là Duy Tinh? Bởi vì các cụ tiền nhân của làng đã lấy trong cái thiên đại vũ mô của bộ kinh thư là duy tinh duy nhất, doãn chấp quyết chung. Tức là ý muốn nhắc nhở con cháu của làng ta phải giữ gìn cái tâm của mình thật tinh túy và trong sáng. Chính vì vậy cho nên quá trình lịch sử hàng ngàn năm, dân làng Duy Tinh luôn luôn giữ cái tinh thần này. Cho nên là đặc biệt là hiếu học. Đã rất có nhiều người đỗ đạt cao và đảm trách những cương vị trọng trách của nhà nước, và có những nhà khoa học tầm thế giới.
In order to preserve and promote the values left by the ancestors and to develop a modern and sustainable Thanh Hóa, in celebration of the 990th anniversary of Thanh Hóa, the provincial government and Thanh Hóa city authorities have provided correct policies bringing development to Thanh Hóa. The first highlight of Thanh Hóa development was prosperity from industry and tourism. Tourism activities are more exciting and tourist facilities have received solid investments. The improving quality of services has changed the appearance of tourism in the province. Industrial zones continue to develop and technology has been widely applied, helping to meet the demand for economic development. Thanh Hóa is a land with a long tradition of culture and history, throughout the centuries while the Hun kings established the nation until today. Over the 1,000 years of history and national construction and defense, Thanh Hóa has always been a cradle of the country's talented and outstanding people. They are the ones that make the offspring of the fairy and dragon proud.
Trees have roots and humans have ancestors. No matter how far away, somehow we will find ways back to our origins. That's the call that the French-Vietnamese choreographer Sébastien Lee heard upon his chance visit to his grandparents' home country, Vietnam, only to answer it 8 years later with his own creation, the annual Crossing Over Arts Festival, or KOAF, starting from 2017. The Roots is also the theme of this year's instrument, where Sébastien Lee contributed a performance inspired by his own Vietnamese grandparents. In our On the Mic segment this week, let's have a chat with choreographer Sébastien Lee himself and learn more about the KOAF as well as the call of origin that drives him to return to Vietnam.
For the past 3 years, Vietnamese art lovers, especially those in Ho Chi Minh City, have had the chance to experience the boundary-pushing power of dance as an art form, as they can be part of the performances through the annual series of Crossing Over Arts Festival, or KOAF. Featuring on-stage performances, site specifics, and a series of dance workshops, KOAF has become a platform where artists from different backgrounds and nations come together, and where the line between the performer and the audience is blurred. But to its own creator, choreographer Sébastien Lee, KOAF is more than just a professional inspiration.
First of all, thank you, Sébastien Lee, for joining our show today. Let's talk a bit about the Crossing Over Art Festival. As far as I've known, you're the director and founder of the entire series, and this is already the 3rd installment in Vietnam. Can you share with us a bit about this international festival?
I came to Vietnam in 2016. I was just in Vietnam to find some inspiration, to collect some pictures, some sounds. And during that trip, I actually met artists, dancers, visual artists, and people who own art venues. And I wanted to connect all of these people and to create a platform for the Vietnamese artists to be seen throughout international collaborations. It's 2 weeks for artists to know that each year they have an opportunity to show their work. It's also a time for the audience to know that they can connect to art, of course dance, but also, as we said, films, workshops, talks and visual art. So it's like 2 weeks of discovering, mixing artists, audience, different venues, for everyone to get together.
So the theme of this year's festival is the roots. Can you explain more about it? Does it relate to the fact that you, as a French Vietnamese, would like to find your origin here in Vietnam?
Yes, I mean, the whole festival, it started because I wanted to go back to my roots, that we still keep the legacy of our ancestors. And I feel this kind of connection with our grandparents is something we should have it. Grandparents are important and they deserve a real place in our lives.
A narrative voice. No beats, no music. The movements of the dancers all follow the flow of voices and emotions, creating a space where everything converges. Then the climax came, turning the space into a sacred ground of smoke and incense before the ending.
Vở biểu diễn này khá là thú vị khi nó sử dụng kết hợp múa với ngôn từ. Trong suốt màn biểu diễn thì các bạn ấy có kể tới rất là nhiều những cái mẩu ghép ký ức khác nhau. Ký ức của người xem, ký ức của người biểu diễn cũng gợi cho ta cái cảm giác rất là mông lung, mơ hồ. Lúc thì có vui, có buồn, lúc thì hình ảnh rõ ràng và lúc thì mù khói như kiểu cái cảnh mà các bạn ấy có để cho hương và ánh sáng nó quyện vào với nhau.
That is, at the Gate of Oblivion, one of Sebastian Lee's prior choreography that he's contributed to this year's KOAF.
Tell us a bit about your own performance at this year's festival, At the Gates of Oblivion.
So it talks about the relationship we has with our grandparents. I lost my grandparents 7 years ago, and I asked myself, because now they are no more here, what from them is still alive in me. And I felt that somehow nowadays, because we are really like always looking forward toward the future, that it's also important to draw a line with the past. And I think it's important to not to disconnect ourselves to all the legacy of our ancestors.
So it seems that your family and your roots are the main source of inspiration for many of your creations as a choreographer. What can you say about this?
In my art, I really try to put my heart and all of what I am. And my family is really important for me. My grandmother, she was very famous for knowing a lot of poems and text by heart. She told me stories of her childhood, stories also of ghosts. Her house was fully decorated with the furniture coming from Vietnam. Paintings also. She was singing a lot, so I could hear her singing. She was really connected to Vietnamese art. She taught me a lot about cooking and also about how to plant seeds and how to take care of flowers. For me, it's the kind of things that even if she's no more here, she's still very close to me.
Born and raised in France, however, the Vietnamese side in him never left him completely, thanks to the influence of his grandparents. But it was not until he arrived in Vietnam that the awareness about his origin awakened. Along with it was the desire to connect with the art scene in Vietnam, firstly with KOAF.
Khi mà anh Sebastian làm lên cái sự kiện này thì mình cảm thấy là vui, bởi vì sao? Bởi vì là anh sẽ mang khán giả lại gần với nghệ thuật đương đại hơn. Những cái sự kết hợp giữa nghệ thuật sắp đặt này, về múa này liên kết với nhau, rồi hội họa liên kết với múa, thì mình cảm thấy là đó là một cái nên làm để cho khán giả được tìm hiểu nhiều về cái bộ môn nghệ thuật đương đại này. Từ đó thì mình sẽ phát triển được hơn.
So when was the first time you returned to Vietnam and what was your impression of Vietnam, especially the art scene?
The very first time was actually in 2008. I was on tour with another dance company. But when I came back in 2016, what I discovered is a country moving really fast with a lot of great artists, and I wanted to build a project.
Can you tell us a bit about your future plans?
Next crossing over is going to be still in April, so in 2020, and I definitely want to spend more time in Vietnam.
Again, thank you very much, Sebastian Lee, for joining our show today.
Since many Asians believe that bear bile is a miracle cure, thousands of bears have been caged for regular bile extractions for use in traditional medicine. In Vietnam, various organizations have been working actively in order to end bile trade in the country. And in this week's Connecting Cultures, let's visit Vietnam's largest wildlife sanctuaries at the Tam Dao National Park, home to 175 bears who have been rescued from poachers and traders throughout Asia.
"11 hectares, 30,000 square meters of semi-natural outdoor enclosure. That is the Squid Creep of bears at the Vietnam Bear Rescue Center, funded by Animals Asia. But why do bears need to be rescued? Asiatic black bears are targeted for their bile, thought to be an effective health remedy. Animals Asia estimates that there are more than 12,000 bears in bile farms in Vietnam and China. Bile extraction has been outlawed in the country since 2005, and in 2017, the Vietnamese government agreed on a plan with Animals Asia to work together to rescue the remaining bears still caged across Vietnam. Tuấn Medicsen, who started setting up the sanctuary together with Animals Asia in 2006, has witnessed the arrivals of many rescued bears at the sanctuary.
When bears first arrive here from a bear bile farm, and the bears is normally very aggressive. So it takes anywhere from, say, 6 months to a year to get the bear fully kind of calm down and trusting us again.
At the Vietnam Bear Rescue Center, the bears find new homes in semi-natural enclosures with enrichment furnishings and toys that help them to recover physically and mentally. The sanctuary has 2 open days each month where visitors can visit with pre-booking. There is also an educational center where groups can learn more about the bears.
It's wonderful. They're working on every level, which is what's so important. They're not just doing the rescue work, but they're doing the education, they're working with their government. So the fact that they're working from so many angles, working with locals, which is so important, I'm so impressed with their work.
Here you get a chance to watch the bears and enjoy the fresh air and mountainous views of Tam Dao. And you might just have the chance to prepare the food for the bears too. And there they go, looking for the food. Go bears! The sanctuary also has an area dedicated to caring for the health of the bears to ensure that they are always in the good condition. Hope you have relaxing time in this week connecting cultures with the bears who are now thriving in the safe place after quitting trauma. Vietnam Bear Rescue Center is a place worth visiting and stories definitely worth listening to.
For me, it's a great pleasure to see the bears kind of fully forgive what mankind has done to it, and here now, and enjoying the life that it should be.
And that is the end of our program. If you would like to provide feedback or comment on anything here on Culture Mosaic, please feel free to write us at vtvinternational@vtv.vn. You can also log on to vtv4.vtv.vn or our app at VTV Go for more of our program. And don't forget to join us next week for another episode of Culture Mosaic. And goodbye for now.